The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our very first and probably only orientation for the virtual convention. I am joined today by Chris Barnes, who is our Director of Sales and Marketing for IIBEC and has really been behind the scenes putting all this together. I'm going to start by sharing my screen, and let's hold on, Caroline. It's not letting me share my screen. I forgot to make myself the presenter. I did it now. There we go. Okay, so we are here today to guide you and show you the online meeting, which you should be able to see on my screen. CB, can you see that on my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. All right, so when you all get you all have an email, which is your know before you go email, and there's going to be a link in there to go to this site, which is the virtual meeting, which starts Friday morning on the East Coast. And I would make one note through all of this: we have kept the times for this meeting and some of the printed materials in Central Standard Time. So remember that. So Bob Card, I saw you were on the call. You remember you're on the Pacific Standard Time, and those of us on the other coast are on the Eastern Standard Time. So there'll be a little bit of math function going on here, adding 1 hour, taking 1 hour away. But when you come to this site, the lobby is where I'm right now. You will see a variety of things that you can do. On this left bar, you'll see the auditorium, the exhibit hall, the resource center, product demo, and help desk. Some of those things are repeated on this lower bar. When you get your know-to-go email, or when you go and click through that link, all you're going to need to have is the email that you utilized for registering for this event. So whatever that email address is, that's going to be your entryway into the virtual meeting. Is that not correct, Chris?
Yes.
Okay. We wanted to take you through and show you a number of things. I would note, number one, that we are recording this session for those of you who want to go back and take another look at it, or have colleagues that may not be able to be on at this point and you want to share that with them. In addition to that, you'll see a question box where you can send questions to us. We have our IIBEC staff team on the webinar right now, ready to answer questions if you have them. So when you get there on Friday morning, the first thing that's going to be up, and you can see it right here, is this education event. So there's a couple ways to get to the education event. Number one is you can click right here and that'll jump you right to the education event, or you can go directly to the auditorium. So when I jump to the auditorium, you'll see the look and the feel of a normal auditorium, and you can see we're highlighting the fact that Johns Manville is a sponsor of our opening keynote, and they're the sponsor for that opening keynote. To get into any of the presentations, when you get to this auditorium section, you simply have to click presentations. So far, as you can see here, these are all lined up in order of their production, meaning the very first sessions are going to be starting in 2 days and 22 hours and 19 minutes, not that we're counting. And you'll see there will be 2 sessions going right then at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Eastern time on Friday. So to start those presentations, you simply need to click on that icon that looks like a monitor. Is that not right, Chris?
That's correct. No, click on the where it says scheduled. So after
Okay.
when it's ready to start, I think we open it 5 or 10 minutes before. It'll say launch, and that launch will take you to a go-to webinar, much like you're on now.
Okay. And then let's say, remember, we have these things open for until July 15th. So some of the benefits of this, and many of you have probably heard the discussion that we've had about this virtual meeting. There's a couple of benefits, I think, for IIBEC members and participants in this meeting, people who are going to attend. The first and foremost is we're going to have 24 sessions that were scheduled for Houston. They're all going to be represented in this meeting. 23 of them have actually, or 22 of them have actually been recorded and are ready for consumption as they come up in that agenda. If you see competing sessions, so right here you've got two competing sessions and you can't decide which one to go to, you can click on the one you want to go to right then, which is either one, you make your choice. If you want to save one for the future, you simply need to click this box. You can always go back to this page if you will, but if you want to make sure not to forget it, click on the briefcase. And I do want to show you the briefcase because it's an important sort of piece of this activity. You can go to that briefcase, and in your briefcase, you have a number of things that we've already populated. You've got a speaker evaluation. We want you certainly to fill that out. We have the digital proceedings, so you can actually download your digital proceedings. This will also be in your IIBEC member portal. You've got your CEH reporting form. You've got Article 21, which is something that we read before many of our meetings, and we're making you aware here so that you can read it at your own leisure. And then we have the guide, which is IIBEC's sort of member guide that gives you all sorts of information about the organization. And then those are the things that are pre-populated. You may add things as well, which is the performance analysis, like the session that we just added. There's a couple of other things. There's the Zoom out information, and then there's the actual schedule for the meeting. A couple notes on the Zoom out information. So I'm going to close the briefcase. And I'm going to move, I got to go back to that. One of the issues that seems to occur with this program, depending on the browser that you're in, is you may need to zoom in or out based on your web browser. So when I went in today early to start checking this out and get ready, I could not see the full screen just by the way my browser was set up. So I went in and shrunk it a little so I have a better view of everything that's on the page. So that's just a small note for all of you, and those of you who want to make sure you're getting the full screen. I'm also working off a laptop screen, which is different than the monitor I have in the office. Many of you may be doing the same, as many of us are not yet back in the office. So we've taken you to see where the presentations are. I would note again, there's only going to be one presentation that's not going to be available afterwards for viewing, and that's going to be the final presentation, which is actually, there it is. Lessons learned from 20 years of wind hazard. Let's see if I can read the whole thing. My browser's not letting me go all the way down there. But it's the session that we've added on Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, or 2 p.m. Central time. That is being led by Baz Baskarin, and it's talking about wind hazards and the research that's been done over the last 20 years. We're unable to record that one for the future, so you may want to make a note to participate in that one live on Monday. A couple of other things to note. So we went through the auditorium. One thing to note up here in the upper right-hand corner, number one, you can see who's attending, so you can see a number of IIBEC staff are logged in. You guys aren't able to log in at this point. We have gamified the activity. So we have a list of prizes that are going to be available for you when you earn points. And the way to earn points, so you can see this is what the top 5 winners with the most points get. Some IBEC swag, manual of practice, and even some cold hard cash. You'll be able to check here what kind of points are being awarded per the item that you're going to do. And then you can check back on the leaderboard at any point. So much like we do during the meeting where we've got giveaways in the exhibit hall and things like that, we've tried to do this so that you all will move around through the virtual meeting and that there's a benefit to it towards the end, if you will. Let me close that. Let's take a quick tour of the exhibit hall. And you can see, so to go directly to any of the booths, all you're going to need to do is click on one of their logos. I'm going to go first to the foundation booth for the IBEC RCI Foundation. And you can see, let's go back. You can see that on a number of these things, you can do a variety of activities. So we could chat with Rick if he was here. So when the exhibit is live, Rick will be staffing the booth, much like the rest of the exhibitors will be. You'll be able to type in your question and you'll be able to do a live chat with the participants or the exhibiting company. You can also click on any of these boxes and they're going to take you to a variety of things. We'll click on this right now. That's going directly to the RCI IBEC Foundation's website. You'll just close that and go back. That one shows a video that the foundation has put together. If you want to participate in the auction, which I would urge everybody to participate in the auction, you're going to click on that banner and it's going to take you to the online foundations auction. You should register for this beforehand. And if you go to the foundation website, you'll be able to register for that. Bidding starts, as you can see, on Friday, June 12th at 8:30 a.m. Central Time, and it runs through Sunday, the 14th at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. And there's lots of good prizes to bid on and provide some funding to the foundation. CB, what else should I show in this booth? Anything else to show?
Some booths have automatic pop-ups, meaning when you go to their booth, they might have a welcome video or a thank you. Brian, could you show J.R. Jones' booth? They have a pop-up that takes you to a different. Their booth will open up, and then they have a tab that opens up thanking you for coming to their booth. Now, all of the links that are in this software are open in a new tab. So all you have to do to go back to the trade show and convention is close that tab and go back to the tab to your left, depending on which browser you're in.
And you can see they've got a little bit larger booth. We did have a couple of booth sizes, believe it or not, even virtually. And there's a number of things you can do. I'm not going to click on any of these, but you can see there's a little bit more going on here than back in our foundation booth. Couple of the other booths we wanted to show you just so you can see what some other things look like. You've got the IBEC booth, which takes you right straight to becoming a member. Hopefully all of you are, but you can if you're not, please click on that tab and join today. You also have the National Roofing Contractors Association, so you can go visit with them and communicate with our friends at NRCA.
And then Brian, the IBEC booth right down the bottom row.
Right. And then there's the IBEC booth at the bottom. Again, there's a number of things that you can do straight from the IIBEC booth. You will be able to chat with us. So if you've got questions or needs or comments during the meeting, this is one way to find us. We'll talk about some of the other ways to find us. And then let's see. Let's go.
And then while you're right there, Brian, that chat with us feature that you showed earlier on the left-hand side, that's actually going to be a group chat. So make note when you start chatting in that, everybody, the sales representatives and anybody else within that booth can see it. If you would like to do a private chat, you have a specific question for the sales representative, you can actually click where it says this location at the top right next to the check mark. Right there, Brian, the info representatives.
Oh, right there. Okay.
Yeah. And the sales representatives will show up with their picture. Some of them have their title and obviously the company.
So the info representatives is the way to have a private discussion with someone.
That's correct, yes. And then if you're in the chat with us, which is a public chat, if a sales representative asks you, maybe, it's a very specific question, they can actually take you into a private chat, and just so it's one-on-one sales rep to attendee.
Gotcha. Is there anything else we should show about the exhibit hall, Chris?
Not right offhand, no. Just there is a lot of information stored within these booths. Just like you saw the presentation, how the presentation list comes out and has a bunch of information. Just be sure to look through. There's a lot of content. These exhibitors have put a lot of time and effort into their booths, and there's a lot of content that you can view and then also add to your briefcase, like Brian showed earlier.
So another tab here, just so we're all clear, is the Resource Center. And for us, that's going to be basically more information about IIBEC and some of the things we are up to. You can see our strategic plan. There's a tab to join. There's the guide, which we talked about, the proceedings. Some of these things were already in your briefcase, but in case you want to go directly here and grab them, they're here. The help desk, and then currently we have one product demo. CPLAS is doing a product demo at 2 p.m. Central on Friday. Please participate in that one. The good news about their product demo is once it's done on Friday, it will become content that you can view until July 15th. So it will actually be something that's going to be available to everyone to look at and view. You can put that thing in your briefcase and check it out at your leisure as well. So another thing that you can add. An important piece is also the help desk. So some of you, and while we're giving you a tour today, you may have questions and you may get stumped on something that you can't do. This is where you'll go and ask for technical support. That is going to be staffed in a live fashion all during what I would call the normal conference hours on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Chris, once we end the meeting on Monday with that last presentation, the help desk remains open. Is that not right? It'll just go to one of us as an email. Is that my understanding?
Yes, sir, that's correct. Yeah, after the trade show hours and convention hours, that'll be sent to me. So if you have questions, after the event, just it'll turn into an email, be sent to me. During the convention and trade show, if you have a specific question related to IIBEC, just ask the sales representative to forward the email to an IIBEC employee, and they will do so accordingly.
Right. So for part of this help desk is going to be staffed by the company that we're using for their software. So this community called Communique. And so at some portion, I think it's 12 of the hours, we're going to have them staffing this. So they're going to be obviously a little bit more adept at answering questions about the software and issues you're having accessing things. If you're asking a specific question about IIBEC or how do you find Bob Card or Scott Hinesley, have them just send that to one of the IBEC staff team, and they have a list of all of us, and they'll be able to track us down. It won't be like normal where we're running around with a staff badge. So we will be sitting in the office answering folks' questions. So here's another great feature of this. This gives you the list of attendees. And if you want to chat with someone, you can search for them, and then you'll be able to click this green button, and you'll see the pop-up down here. And then you can just type a message to Chris and say, do you have a minute to chat? And then Chris will send you something back, maybe. And that's the way to track down someone during the event. If they're not live at that time, Chris, will it go to their email, or will it just load once they go back to the meeting? CB? Maybe he's muted.
Sorry about that. I had mute. The dogs were barking. So if, as you saw, my green text chat was on next to my profile. If I am not online, it will turn gray. Next to that, there'll be an email, an envelope, and then you can email me. That goes for representatives in the trade show as well, the exhibitors. There are designated trade show hours, as you know. But outside of those, we would recommend emailing the representative, and they get an email directly to their email, so they can see it when they check their email.
I can't find Bob Card.
Yeah, we have not loaded the full list yet, Brian. So that should be going.
I'll never find Bob Card.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Bob. I just figured he was registered.
He is registered. He'll be searchable the day of. Got it.
Okay. And again, here's the briefcase function. And we already talked about that, but just showing you where that is. Is there other things that we should show? As you can see, so this you can jump right to the convention schedule by taking a look at that. This is obviously downloadable. You can print this out, set it next to your desk so you don't forget anything. Again, these times are all Central Standard Time. So please don't forget that. I probably have said that enough. I keep saying it so that I don't forget. So
one thing to note too, Brian, under the auditorium, after the presentation has gone to the live Q&A, that will not be available. So you won't be able to launch it. It actually turns into a play. So you'll be able to play it within the software on the screen you're at.
Okay. So all of these say scheduled. When they're about to start, they're going to say, what do they say, live? Is that what the
launch?
Launch. Okay. And then when they're done, it flips to
a play.
Play. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So you'll know where you are in the process. If it's scheduled, that means it hasn't started. It's not played for the first time. Launch is when it's ready to go, and then when it's done, it'll just be play.
Correct.
Okay. I'm trying to think of other things that we should show everybody in this tool. I guess I would say, are there questions that folks have, things that we skipped over too quickly? And I'm not looking at my question bar. I don't know if Ashley or anyone from the staff team wants to jump on and ask us some questions or tell us to do some stuff that we haven't shown. There's lots of questions there.
Yeah, Brian, let's show the one-to-one chat. If you could
Okay.
go into the exhibit hall and even just do the foundation booth and just show the difference in the group chat.
Okay. So this is the public group chat, right, CB?
Yeah, so it's actually on the left-hand side. Every booth has a chat with us on located the same area, and this is the public chat. It always says public chat at the top. So this is a public chat. If you want to go to a private chat with a sales representative, you can click on the RCI IIBEC Foundation where right there, Brian. Yeah. And then this is what, if Rick is available, you can see his is grayed out. So he's not here. So we can actually send him an email with your question with that little envelope. But that's how you would start a private chat with a sales representative. If you wanted to start a private chat with just any attendee, you would search for them in the bottom footer in the attendee list right there. And you would start your chat there. And that is a private chat.
Great. So we'll take us to a different booth so we can make sure. So again, if you're going to HB Fuller, you can see that those are their sales people that are going to be there. You can ping one of them that way. If it's gray, that means they're not in the house, as it were. But you could email Bob right now. I won't do that to him. If you just want to ask a general question of the team at HB Fuller, you can do either chat with us here or do the public group chat here.
And one question just came in. How do you know if someone has sent you a private message? There's a loud noise that it makes. I think it's 3 dings. So have your volume up and you will be able to hear it.
And I presume that it will actually, CB, since I'm going to close mine. So why don't you send me something now, and then we'll see how that pops up.
All right.
And I don't know if any of the other staff team is logged in. They could send me a message too, and we could show that. There's at least 8 people attending now. So it's blinking, as you guys can see, and then I would just open that. And so for some reason my volume's not up, but that's probably okay.
And then after you're done, if you want to leave it, just right under where Brian's mouse is, it says leave this chat. That's a close feature, so it'll close the chat.
Right.
Brian, this is Ashley. Will you please show how attendees can add the LinkedIn information to their accounts?
Oh boy.
Yes,
I
Brian.
knew you were going to ask me something good.
So
I'm going to edit my registration information. So you've got when you register, this information will we're going to pre-populate a little bit of this for you just to help you out with your email and stuff. So, but when you get here, you'll come up to this toolbar, the gear thing, and you'll go edit my registration information. And then down here, you can have allow users to use my LinkedIn profile. I have not loaded mine yet, but when you go to LinkedIn, there's a way to scrape out the little piece of how it gets to you, and you just place that there, and then it will allow you to do that here. Let me see if I can take you all. Let's see how skilled I am at this now that I've made this. Now that I've said that that's how to do it. Let's go all the way and do it. And then I'm taking care of some stuff. So let me see. So I think if I recall right, the way to do this is, it's been a while since I've done this, I'll
Brian,
admit.
just grab that address in your address bar.
Oh, right.
.com. Yeah, copy that.
I'm going to copy, go back here, and I'm going to submit that. And then when you go to chat with me, let's see. So if I do that, so it's got my LinkedIn thing there. And at some point, I'll find a picture of myself. So that's the way to update that LinkedIn information. That's a good question, and you allowed me to finish one of my tasks that I had on my list later today. So there's also profile settings. I'm available to all attendees. That would make sense. Is my email inbox? I guess is that a function that we will have open here, CV?
Yeah, that's the inbox that if somebody has a question, it'll be stored there.
Okay.
It's automatically sent to your personal email that you registered with.
Okay. So it goes to both places. Okay.
So.
And then I'm not going to log out, but that is the log out. That would probably just be bad if I logged out.
If you need help during the event, we will have people in the IIBEC booth. So feel free to go into that booth. And if you have questions, we'll be manning that for everybody.
And I would say, and I probably should have said it at the beginning, I want to thank everyone who's on the call, for getting a little bit ready to go for this Friday. And also thank you for going on this journey with us. It's been an interesting 10 or 11 weeks as we've tried to figure out how to take what was a normal in-person meeting that we've done for 20 plus years and turn that into something where we could provide you a little bit of the networking that you desire, all of the education that you need and want, and have you be able to engage with our exhibiting companies. And so I really want to say thank you to everyone, not only the attendees who are willing to jump into this pool with us, but all the exhibitors. I think now we're up to 66 exhibitors. So your willingness to participate with us and go on this journey with us is, we thank you for that. We think it's going to be great. I'm very excited by the way this is coming together. The tools look fantastic. They work very well. We really think it's going to be a good way to have this meeting. I would be remiss to say I'd rather be in person. I much would prefer to see you all in person. I would have preferred to be there in Houston back in March. Hopefully we'll all be together in November at the BES Plus, and certainly in Phoenix next spring in March. But this is the way we have to do things right now, and we think we've put together something that'll be beneficial to everybody, and provide you the value that you need. So, Ashley, are there other questions that I should answer that CB and I can guide people around this software piece for them?
I think you guys covered it. As Brian and Chris said, if you have any questions the day of the events, visit the help desk. IIBEC staff will be there, or you can visit the IIBEC booth. IIBEC staff will also be at the IIBEC booth.
Great. Seeing no more questions, although I'm letting other people see the questions, I think we can end this and let you all get back to your day. This will be posted later today or early tomorrow morning. So if you've got colleagues who are going to join you and they're asking you questions, you can send them over to this video and we'll be able to walk them through and they can see how we're doing this convention. So thank you all for joining us. And again, we will see you Friday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, or you can start bidding on the auction, silent auction stuff for the foundation at 8:30. So looking forward to seeing everybody this weekend virtually and hopefully soon in person. Thank you, guys.